breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
President Trump arrived in Texas and the crowd went wild. They weathered the storm, they're surviving, they're getting by as best as they can, and the one person who united them in a most positive atmosphere is our President Trump. He's kept people updated on Twitter and made good on his words to visit Texas as soon as he possibly could. Trump offered his support, and so did Senator Ted Cruz. Despite the president's efforts in doing whatever he can to support Texans in their time of natural disaster, there was still a handful of leftists who criticized him. The truth is, the same people who criticized Trump were the same people sitting home not doing anything to help. Trump didn't care. He carried on his way, while people battled on social media, posted fake pictures of Obama, trashed Melania's shoes, and the real truth is this: people are absolutely 100% happy the American president has arrived in Texas. You may not see Trump wading in the riptide of a flood because he's a bit on the older side, but he and Melania are there for the people. That's all you can ask for, is that your president shows up in a time of need and gives people some positive reinforcement to help them get by. People like to paint Trump as a bad guy, but those crushing words all come from leftists who wake up miserable every day. They don't want to make America great. They just want to remain living in their sad, entitled bubble. Well, there are people in Texas who lost everything, and they're going to get it all back. They're going to make Texas great again, and Trump is there to support them. Trump doesn't care if you're a Democrat in Texas. He's going to support all Texans and help them get back on their feet. Trump has made a strong effort to stay in the loop about the hurricane preparations and response efforts. On Twitter, he posted numerous updates as he and the First Lady monitored the storm from Camp David and made it clear that he intended to visit the affected areas as soon as possible. The president was reportedly also in close contact with Texas officials, including Governor Abbott, former Governor Rick Perry, and Senator Ted Cruz. The president told me directly whatever Texas needs, you got it, Cruz stated to CNBC's Contessa Brewer, who is on location in Houston. President Trump and the wonderful FLOTUS took a plane ride to Texas to show their support for those suffering and working harder that day than most people in our country on a normal day. Texas showed America that we are still strong and we are still great. Random strangers were rescuing each other everywhere. People didn't care about who voted for who. People didn't care if you were Democrat or Republican. People cared and saved each other. People who lost everything risked their own life to give everything to those in need. People are bringing each other into shelters. People across the country are donating supplies and funds. Trump and Melania flew in to be there with everyone in their time of need and unite the Texans. Trump said 4 words that set people off in a round of applause and show of unity. Democrats and Republicans stood cheered as they heard Trump say these 4 words, chants of USA, Texas for Trump, Texas strong, and we love Trump, could all be heard as Trump arrived, according to Breitbart News. A photo of the crowd showed Texans lined up so far down the road that they filled the entire picture. President Trump took a moment to address the gathered people. Climbing onto a ladder and waving the Texas state flag, Trump said 4 words that made the crowd go wild. And that's the moment people who lost everything stopped caring about the tangibles for 1 second. People were happy to be alive and share a moment of gratitude for their life being spared by Mother Nature. You can't beat the weather when the weather wants to beat you. If there's one unstoppable force on this planet, it's the weather. If nature wants to drop 50 inches of rain on you, it will, and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. No amount of phony climate change talks, hybrid cars, or cow farts will ever stop Mother Nature in her tracks. The only force that America rates second best to is the planet. Our Earth is a magnificent force and can do tremendous things when it's in the mood. It doesn't matter who lives in Texas that lost everything. It's up to us to help them in a major natural disaster. This flood is a beautiful disaster that tried to wreck people's lives, but it will only unite the intelligent people and allow us to put our differences aside. Let's all help our fellow Americans in Texas. Make donations, send supplies, and make Texas great again. Let's show them what a Trump presidency is all about and show Texas we got their back. Follow